Can you let us know more about London prime property market? For example, who are the people that mostly buy and what they're used for, buy to live or buy to let?
I think, for the prime central market, you will have both investors and owner-occupiers, to be honest. But what we've seen, in recent trends is that a lot of people are buying more for own use. When I mean own use, it could be that they are looking to live in it immediately or plans to live in it maybe in 5 to 6 years' time. Because these sort of areas, you don't get brand new buildings that come by very often because planning is very, very difficult, right? So when there's an opportunity and, they see the opportunity, they will grab it, right? So, in terms of people that bought, you get the cool amount of foreigners as well as, local buyers. But most of them, are buying for the purposes that I've mentioned earlier, use, whether immediate or, 5 years down the road. But it's with that intention. Investors we also get, but investors generally, they tend to buy smaller units, like for example, 1 bedrooms, because generally 1 bedrooms tend to be easier to rent out. But I think for us also, we are seeing the trend to, we're looking, for us, we also see that the trend has changed a little bit after COVID, because, we used to think that, 1 bedrooms are the more, popular ones for investment. But if you look at rental figures, you realize that actually people prefer 2 bedrooms now over the last 2 years, because I think everyone spent enough time at home. So they think that, I think everybody wants a bit more space now. So with that in mind, that's why we've designed our development. If you look at our 1 bedrooms, it's actually 600 square feet to 800 over square feet. So that becomes like a middle ground for people who still want a 1 bedroom but a bit more space in that sense. Yeah, so we've designed our stock for end users in mind.
Yeah. So what are the popular prime areas in London that's popular among investors?
I think, obviously in London, you've got very traditional residential areas like Chelsea, many others. But I think, nowadays, we might redefine what prime central London is, because people seem to think that, anything that is zone 1 is prime central London. But, for me, I think, traditionally what we look at are all these prime areas, because that's where they, locals used to live in this area. But then, of course, with more people coming in, then you would have to expand these areas, to the newer areas that also located very centrally.
And as a very well-known Manchester developer, SALBOY has covered a footprint area across the UK. And can you let us know more about which areas you covered, and most importantly, why entering London as well?
We don't just cover Manchester, obviously, that's more base, right? We've actually gone on to invest in Cornwall, Newquay, with a huge beachfront there that we've just bought, with plans for a hotel, and also, a few apartments and houses, working with the council, basically. And just last year, we've bought about 46 sites, big and small, obviously. So I think, and they're all across UK, not just, peripherals of Manchester. And obviously, London being the capital of the UK, it wouldn't be complete if we're not inside as well. And it's not our first foray in that sense into London, because we have invested in London before. We have participated in schemes as well, but it's just not under the SALBOY brand. So if you're talking about us being the SALBOY brand, yes, this is our first foray into London, but London is not a foreign market to us. We are actually very familiar, and it's because we've done enough investments in London to know that it's worth doing. Therefore, we want to start a new, on our own in this market. Yeah.
SALBOY's development always has something very special and unique. Yes. Tell us more. What is the uniqueness or specialness of One Cluny Mill?
And first of all, I think One Cluny Mill is where it's located. In Earls Court, very, very prime location, and very, very rare to come by, because planning permission in these sort of prime areas, it's not easy. So it takes about 5 to 7 years to even get planning. Right? It's slightly different from regeneration areas where they're a bit more. But So on top of that, this is 35. This is a 35 unit scheme that's completely private. There's no affordable housing in this scheme at all. It's very, very exclusive. All the units look into the private garden, all south facing, right? So when we designed this development, we had end users in mind, just to follow on what I said earlier about residential areas, because they're meant for local users, right? So we've designed the sizes of the units to be slightly bigger, right? So if you look at like the one beds, we start around 600 square feet, it goes all the way up to about 800 over square feet. It's very, very big size for one bedroom, right? Yeah. So that's very unique, because I think a lot of products or other stock in the market would tend to be slightly smaller, because, you want a bit more. You would try to increase the number of flats within a scheme, obviously from a developer's point of view. But we've designed it in such a way that we've taken extra account for end users in mind. Yeah,
That's good. Thank you very much.
Yeah.